All right, so the greatest common factor. So we're going to be given a polynomial, mostly binomials and trinomials, and we're going to look for what the terms have in common. And then we're going to factor that out. So what I mean by factor that out, let's give you an example of what we did last time with simplifying polynomials. Okay, so this expression is written in factored form. All right, this is one factor. This whole thing in parentheses is another factor. Factors are things that are connected by multiplication. All right, so what's going to happen is, let's multiply this out real fast, actually. That would be 6x squared, and then 2x times 4 would be 8x. When we factor something, we're going to be going from this form to this form, all right? And all it involves really is looking for what each term has in common with each other. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one as an example. All right, let's switch to orange there. Okay, so you want to think numbers and variables. So what is actually not just any number, but what is the greatest number that will go into both terms? And in this case, it's just 2. They're both even numbers, and a 2 will go into both of them. And they also have a variable, x. Now, you want to look for how many x's they have in common. Well, this one only has one x, and this one has 2 x's. So the most that they could possibly have in common is 1. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be taking out or factoring out 1x from both terms. All right, and then we'll open up our parentheses. Now this next part, you have to think kind of in steps is the way I do it, but you have to think about 2x times what will give you 6x squared. Well, that'll be 3, and in order to get the x squared, you're going to have to add an x there. All right, so 2x times 3x gives us 6x squared. That's what we wanted. And then 2x times what will give us the 8x? Well, that's going to be 4, so plus 4. All right. Oh, erase my parentheses there. And that's all. That's factoring. So let's do another binomial here. Let's say we had 10x to the third power plus 50x to the fifth power. All right, still a binomial, but we're looking for what the terms have in common with each other. Well, I know that they can both be divided by 5, because 5 goes into both of them, but that's not the biggest term that can go into both of them. All right, the biggest number that goes into both of these is 10. So we're going to be factoring out a 10. Now they both have x's, so I know we're going to be taking out an x, but we're looking for the greatest number of x's that they both have in common. This one has 5, this one has 3, so the most that they have in common is 3. All right, so we're going to be taking out a 10x to the third. All right, open some parentheses. 10x times 1 will give you 10x to the third times 1 will give you 10x to the third. So that's all. And plus, because we have a plus sign, 10x to the third times something will give us 50x to the fifth. Well, I know that 10 times 5 gives me 50, and x to the third times x to the second will give us x to the fifth. All right, and that's it.